is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have a discussion on the planetary conjunction which is currently taking place in the transit, and how can we decode that which planet is going to have a major say or who is actually winning the war. Because the way I have made this video, like couple of videos on the transit, so now a lot many people are getting confused and everyone is saying this thing that okay, from Venus's point of view in the Libra, things look like very good for me, but when I watch the sun perspective, then I start getting confused. So in this video I will just try to clear all the doubts whatsoever I have uploaded so far in the past 3 uploads on Sun's transit, on Venus's transit, on this upcoming solar eclipse. So the gist of that is something which we will try to understand in this video. So now friends, talking first from the perspective of, like, when I was talking about the solar eclipse, I mentioned it over there that just because the major impact of solar eclipse influences the people in power the most, and somehow I just got only focused towards this ongoing war in Russia and Ukraine. But see, when we talk about from the people in power's perspective, so whomsoever people are right now in power, all of them have to be cautious. Like guys, try to understand this conjunction which is taking place right now in Libra from this perspective, that it is the sun which is getting weak right now. Like, let's say for example, in your case, if Libra is a prominent sign in your Lagna, like you are a Libra moon, you are a Libra ascendant, or Libra sign is falling in your 10th house, then definitely this conjunction is becoming important in your case. Now the second thing is that, guys, if right now in your Dasha cycle, if Venus is active in any way, then trust me, with this combined influence of Sun and Ketu and Saturn's aspect, I would say that definitely some unexpected sudden gains can be anticipated. But let's say for example, if in your Dasha right now Sun is active, like whether you are going through Sun Dasha or Sun Antardasha, then I want to be very clear over here, some sudden defamation, some sudden loss of reputation, all those things can also happen because of the way planetary alignment is taking place right now. But guys, as I was talking about from the perspective of the impact and its influence on the leaders, so just because if you have noticed this thing, couple of weeks I guess or month back, this incident happened when in Argentina someone tried to assassinate the minister over there, and this guy even pointed the gun, but the gun did not fire. So the leader was saved. Now why I'm saying this thing right now in this upcoming solar eclipse context? Because see, from India's point of view, lately I've been seeing this thing that okay, you talk about 2 prominent parties right now in India and their leaders, the way they are conducting right now. So Rahul Gandhi, the top leader of Congress, so these days he is on a kind of a rally, Bharat Jodo Andolan and rally, which he is currently conducting. So like, because I have access to his chart, and which seems to be very much authenticated. So in his case, he is a Libra rising person, and in his case, if you will see, if you will notice, so because Libra is right now the epicenter of all of these eclipse energy and all of this, sun getting weak over here in the Libra sign, Ketu is being conjunct over there. Now one thing is that if you are following the protocol, then you are not prone, you are not vulnerable. But like the way videos keep on coming up where he is just his fans and all those people who want to greet him, meet him, they are just breaching the security, or they are just, obviously everyone is gonna get scanned and checked, but still, because even if you will look at the charts of, and most importantly the timing, like 2 of the sitting prime ministers of India who were assassinated. So even if you will look at the timing here, I'm not talking about their birth chart, I'm talking about the way planetary transit was happening at the time when assassination took place. So like, if you will first look at the chart of Indira Gandhi, because in their cases we have the exact time as well at the time when this assassination took place. very close to the minutes and to the seconds as well. So even if you will look at the chart of Indira Gandhi, so if you will look at her chart at the time of her assassination, you will find that Venus and Ketu were transiting right over there in the Lagna, and like Venus was conjunct with Ketu. So that could be one sign which I wanted to show over here. And even if you will look at the chart of the independent India, so India has got a Taurus Lagna. So for someone who is representing the country, so this can also give us some indication, the point which I'm trying to say. And the second chart is of, like, even if you will look at the chart of Indira Gandhi's son Rajiv Gandhi, who was also assassinated. So if you will look at the time when he was killed, the way planetary conjunction was taking place. So Venus was conjunct with Ketu as well. Now in this chart, in this alignment, right at the minute and the second when that suicide bomber conducted that act, so it was there in the 7th house. So this is something, friends, which I wanted to say, because see, I want to be very honest here, like the way these days news are coming up where his female followers are just trying to hug him or, you know, get a picture with him, with Rahul Gandhi. So I just remember, because from my Delhi days, so because my father was in a government job, so I used to see, I have seen Rahul Gandhi couple of times, like at Lodhi Garden, and even like I used to stay close to the India Gate and that Pandara restaurant. If you're from Delhi, from India, you must have heard about this restaurant. So yeah, I have seen him a lot many times. So this guy, he looks more like an actor, like he's got a very charismatic personality. And I am not here talking about any political expert point of view, or neither do I have any knowledge on the defense and everything. I'm very much sure that the people responsible for the security of him, they must be doing a good job. But this is how the planetary influence makes the people in power vulnerable. And even if you will look at the chart of Narendra Modi, the current Prime Minister of India, again, I do not want to get into this debate that whether he is a Scorpio Lagna or a Libra Lagna. Basis my calculation, I see him, and my calculation find him more equivalent and akin to a Scorpio Lagna person. So again, like whether you talk about from Rahul Gandhi's perspective or even from Narendra Modi's charts perspective as well, this whole axis of Aries and Libra is falling in his 12th house and the 6th house. So again, till the time everything is getting followed in a prescribed way, then nothing is gonna make you vulnerable or prone. But the way in these rallies, these pictures are coming up, and if we are studying it in parallel with this planetary conjunction and transit, because guys, right now if you will see the way things are happening right now, so it's not only that in the Libra where Ketu, Venus and Sun are conjunct, but also if you will see that Mars has already entered the sign of like Gemini, and now Mars is 6-8 in a Shadashtak dosha with the Saturn. So Mars is little bit agitated in the Gemini, and it is in a 6-8 combination from Saturn, and Saturn is right now is in a stationary position. Mars is very soon, like just after the time of the solar eclipse, it is going to go into the retrograde mode as well. So definitely here, like just because I have more information on the Indian political system, so I took India's example. But like anywhere, like you pick up any country, people in power could be vulnerable, could be prone towards all these kind of assassination attempt or covert operation and all of that. Now guys, talking from the perspective of like a lot of you have asked me this question that okay, in this conjunction I have watched from Venus's point of view, I have watched from Sun's point of view, in which way I shall decode it in my own personal life. So like the way I already mentioned this thing, if right now in the Dasha Sun is active in your life, so then you have to follow the remedies. You have to do the remedies. Now this could be offering water to the rising sun, or this could be consuming all those entities and food items which sun represent, or recitation of the Surya Gayatri mantra. That becomes very important. Now if you want to understand it from Venus's perspective, so definitely guys, Venus is not weak. Like even if you will like there is a Western concept of Kazami, like in which they say that if a planet, like a general definition of combust which a lot many people hold is that they think that if a planet is combust because of its distance from the sun or its vicinity from the sun, so that means now planet has become ineffective to give any good results. But it does not mean like that. Like the way I was telling you about this Kazami concept, where this astrologer or that field, they see it as a planet who has got combust. That planet is in the heart of the sun. So now it has absorbed the solar qualities. It is sharing the same seat or same throne with the king or with the sun. So that means that just because had this combustion would have taken place in some other sign, then we could have come to this conclusion that Venus is weak. But just because Sun is debilitated in the sign of Libra, a sign ruled by the planet Venus. So because of which Venus is right now strong. Venus is not weak. And just because I have given you that concept of Lal Kitab as well, that in Lal Kitab they see Venus as the as a cow, and they see Ketu as the calf. So they, like in Lal Kitab, it has been followed that in whichever house Ketu is going to be sitting, somehow it gives the good results of the Venus as well from that house. So because of which, friends, but yes, over here you have to remain cautious, because I already explained it to you that from Sun's perspective, definitely Sun is weak, it is debilitated, it is getting conjunct with Ketu as well, and moreover it is receiving the aspect from the planet Saturn as well. So Sun is weak for sure. You have to do the remedies for the Sun. And now talking from the perspective of Venus, now it becomes very important, because Venus is in a strong dignity, but just because it has come in the influence of Ketu, so right now any of the pursuit connected with the Venus, how authentic you are in those pursuits, that will become all time important, because Ketu in a way represents our true intention. Like again, I want to share one short story over here as well. Like the way it has been believed that, it's like if Saturn is a judge. So whenever a person who is facing the trial of the planet Saturn in the form of a Dahiya or Sade Sati, so it has been believed that Saturn is a judge and you are on that trial. So Rahu represents like a public prosecutor. So Rahu is just presenting to the judge, to the planet Saturn, that all the wrong deeds, ill deeds which you have done. But in your behalf, in your defense is Ketu, who stands and who reminds and who shares that all the good deeds which you have done as well. So this is what the importance of Ketu is. So during this time, see guys, I want to be very honest, basis the Karam Kand or basis the rituals which gets followed in Sanatan Dharma, like no one is gonna give you any date to get married when Venus is combust. But that does not mean that now Venus is combust, but it is strong in a Libra sign. So that in itself means, like, let's say for example, if you want to propose to someone, you can consider doing that. You want to in any of your if your business hovers around the Venusian quality of charisma, of recognition, of limelight, too much of the glamour, glitter. So but what will become very important right now is that because of the influence of Ketu, your intention behind it. So now let's say for example, if your intention while proposing to someone is not very authentic, is not very genuine, then the outcome of that is going to be filled with lot of consequences. So that is one thing, one area which I want to highlight over here. But please do not think that Venus is weak or any of the matter of the Venus is going to be getting facing the fury or is gonna be suffering because of this whole combination which is taking place right now. Now after this guys, a lot many people also asked me that I kept on saying this thing from the past couple of videos, that the time of solar eclipse is considered as very good for infusing power in any mantra or for spiritual elevation. Now a lot many of you were curious that what is the rationale behind it. So see, the concept is very simple. Like definitely if you have to elevate your consciousness, you have to be still. Now when I say stillness, it's not only the stillness of your mind, you have to be deep within your soul. Like the way if you want to understand it from the yoga perspective. So yoga believes that in our energy body, in our energy prana body, so we have 72,000 nadis which spring from three major nadis which are Ida, Pingla and Sushmana. So majority of the times Sushmana remains dormant, and whenever we are doing the pranayama, we try to activate the Sushmana nadi. And just because at the time of the eclipse, because if it is solar eclipse, so that means that sun has been completely overshadowed, overpowered by the Rahu. So there is a cosmic imbalance during those times, those minutes when solar eclipse is taking place in your region. So the state which you attain when you are doing pranayama, when your Sushmana nadi is active, so in the cosmos you find the same external environment. So that is the only reason we say this thing, that if you will meditate, contemplate, or start reciting any mantra, you can actually jagrat that mantra, or you can infuse power in that mantra, you can bring that mantra alive. So, and we say this thing that whatsoever number of time you have recited a mantra in a normal times, but at the time of the eclipse, minutes or hours, the count of that or the result of that gets manifolded, it gets multiplied to the hundreds and thousands of the times. So that is the only reason at the time of the eclipse, doing the sadhana, doing the mantra, chanting, all of that becomes very important. So yes guys, these are the few things which I wanted to make it very clear. A lot of you were curious in this back-to-back videos which I uploaded. So a lot of you were not able to understand how to decode it, which thing and which side or which planet is in a state of power, whether in the transit in the cosmos or whether in our personal life. And guys, like the way I was talking about, this solar eclipse is very special, specifically from the meditation perspective, especially from the spiritual elevation perspective, because Saturn is also going to be in a stationary mode. So just because Saturn is in a stationary mode, this whole alignment is taking place in a nakshatra which is strongly connected with the goddess Saraswati. So, and because of the influence of Ketu over here, it is not taking place in the, like, because solar eclipse takes place in a new moon. So here there is no involvement of Rahu but Ketu, but Rahu's nakshatra is also involved. So this whole cosmic imbalance can be utilized for your own spiritual elevation. So do the donation, keep your life simple, recite the mantras. So that is something which I want to say as a part of this kind of cover up video for all the subjects which I have covered on this ongoing transit in the past couple of videos. So this is something, friends, which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For furthermore updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.